Okay, we are recording. All right, thank you guys for being here live, and then I'm sure there will be people watching the recording later, which is awesome. So we're going to take a couple minutes, take turns explaining, in case you don't know who we are, we're going to introduce ourselves and share our stories, share how we got into this social media influencer slash Beachbody coach slash health coach world, and explain to you how we got started. And our stories are different. Like we have things that are in common, but we have things that are different about us. And some of us worked part-time longer before we went full-time, but right now we are all three of us anyways are full-time coaches. So do this primarily for our income. And then we're going to go back around and share some just more information about it. So at the end, we hope that your questions are answered, or if they are not, feel free at the end to ask questions. You can unmute yourself and ask a question. There's also I think there's a chat. There's a chat for you guys to use too if you have questions, or you can always let it kind of marinate a little bit and ask questions to whoever invited you to this opportunity. So you're here because either you are a coach and you invited people to the call, or you are interested in what we're doing. So some of this might, you might sit with it and then later come up with questions. So feel free to ask whoever invited you to this call, and they can also help you get started, which at the end of the call, before we take the questions, Cal's going to answer or explain how you can get started as well. Okay, so I'll go first. My name is Amber Bear, and I'm a full-time Beachbody coach. I've been coaching for about 4 years, and I did this part-time for 3 years. So I'm just gonna kind of give a little bit about my backstory and explain how I fell into coaching, because people sometimes are drawn to this opportunity as a way, to have financial freedom and have, a job that, fills up their life with passion, etc. But I wasn't looking to become a Beachbody coach. I was simply just working and living my life, and struggled with my weight and finding, something that I could, an exercise or a meal plan or something that I could stick with. And, I was always struggling with my weight. So I was a full-time hairstylist. I was successful doing it. I loved it. I was working like 40 to 50 hour weeks. At the time before, like right when I joined, my son was 4. He's now 8.5. So he was 4 years old. I co-parented him. I still do. So I was really busy. I wasn't looking to add on this extra element to my life, but what was missing was any kind of structure or health balance in my life. I was overworked, not eating enough, not eating the right foods, struggling with my weight, struggling with energy, always just trying to self-medicate. At the end of a day, I would treat myself to food and alcohol. I was running on caffeine. I got sick all the time. I just kind of thought that was normal. I thought that was just how I was supposed to live my life. I embraced being a curvy girl, even though I was unhappy with my weight. I just kind of accepted that was how I was going to be. And I was actually engaged at the time where I found my coach, Caitlin, who's going to talk next. Found her on Instagram, or maybe she found me, not really sure. But I started, seeing that she was sharing a lot about healthy lifestyle, and going to the gym was always something that I would struggle with. I would get really into it, and then I would just fall off because I didn't enjoy it. I didn't actually like exercise, and I would try all these crash diets and do all these things to achieve an ideal weight, and then I was really secretive about it, and then I would gain the weight back, and it was always this yo-yo. And so, I was a mom, I was engaged. I just thought, okay, I really want to just find something that I can do. I'm busy, and it would be great to just find something I could do at home, some workouts and, a meal plan, something that I could just feel really good about and, be proud of and share with my son and not have to hide. So I joined one of her challenges, and it was a 3-week challenge. And I was not interested in coaching or anything. I was hesitant to even join this challenge group. I was always someone that wanted to do everything by myself. I wanted to find out stuff and then just secretly go do it. I didn't want the community. I didn't want any of that stuff. But interesting enough, 3 weeks of just being screw it. I'm investing in this. I'm just going to give it my 3 weeks. I'm going to just do what she tells me to do. And I also knew there was a money back guarantee. So I was I'm just going to give it my 3 weeks. So at the end of the 3 weeks, I'd lost, at that time I was 30 pounds heavier-ish than I am now. I'm pregnant now, so I'm not weighing myself. But I was 30-ish pounds heavier. And at the end of the 3 weeks, I lost 7 pounds. And I just felt like I can keep doing this. This is like a lifestyle. I don't feel like I'm deprived. I don't feel, I actually like going onto my Facebook and checking in with my group. I feel like there's a level of positivity that was missing that I didn't have that before. And I just naturally wanted to tell my friends and family about it. I really felt like I'd found something that could help a lot of people. And so at just 3 weeks in, lost 7 pounds, Caitlin had suggested something was brought up about coaching. And I wasn't looking for a way to make extra money or, how can I sell this to my friends? It was really just, this can change lives. And if I can get a discount on the supplements and stuff that I'm going to continue doing, and if I can continue to get the accountability that I was getting from the group, how I mentioned I wasn't that into it. Well, it actually made a big difference. And I was like, I don't want to stop. I don't want to fall off. And so I want to keep going. So for me, the coaching was for the discount and for the accountability. And so right off the bat, I just started sharing about it on my regular small social media and started signing up just people in my life, friends, family, my cousin, people from high school. And it just started to grow from there. So my life started to take a different turn. I started to become so much more passionate about wellness, holistic, healing, food as medicine. All that stuff started to really interest me. And I started to realize that self-care was super empowering. And it's not always about the weight or the number. It's about how you feel. And so, I was hairdressing part-time, but also very passionate about spending a lot of my time coaching other women through my challenge group that I had started. I learned from Kate. And so I started my own group. And I just was helping women. And then I told Kate when I first started, I'm not going to ever quit my job. I love doing hair. But as I started to gain friends, a community through Beachbody and earning trips and all these things started happening, I started to see the potential and I started to realize I'd rather do this. And I started to realize that I could work less hours, be at home with my son and help people. And so last year, November, it's almost been a year already that I decided to go full-time with coaching. And it's been a really awesome decision that I made. And it's not, and I just want to say, some people, that's their long-term goal, but sometimes it's something that you might decide you want to do part-time forever. There's so many options with this. So that's basically my story and how I've came into it. Now they always come out with new cool programs. I've met some of my best friends through this. Kel is going to talk in a little bit too. I met her through social media and now, I've been able to travel with Caitlin and Kel and they're some of my best friends. And I've been able to there's something really empowering and amazing about hanging out with people that want more from life and being able to even if it's virtually and sometimes in real life, just hanging out with people that want more can really inspire you to just shoot for more. And that's something that I had to kind of figure out. And, we're just excited to share this with you guys because you can start now, really. So that's my story.
Okay, I guess I'm up next. And I also want to add, so I assumed Amber wouldn't want to be a coach. I had talked about the opportunity and she was like, okay, if I can get a discount, I'm all in. But I never want to do this full time like you do. And as soon as this gets sketchy, I'm out. Almost 4 years later, you're still here. So it never got sketchy. We're going to talk a bit about misconceptions and things, but you guys know, this is the most real, awesome opportunity that you have here. People ask me all the time if it sounds too good to be true. And it's not, it's really not. So I really hope you come into this call with an open mind and an open heart and see what this opportunity can do for your life. Because about 4.5 years ago, it was actually 5 years ago, I found my coach on social media as well. She was just a stranger who I stalked, who was getting an amazing shape, who was living this awesome life, traveling, getting paid to get fit. And I was like, I thought the same thing. I was like, that's too good to be true. And I was my story is different than Amber's. I was really unhappy in my job. I worked retail. I actually grew up in an alcoholic home, struggled a lot, never knew what I wanted to do with my life. And I just went to retail jobs. And I was great at customer service, but I worked at the time for like a bosszilla. I was a manager. I got paid like ish. And I just remember coming home every day and crying and like not knowing where my life was going, feeling really stuck, feeling really frustrated. Reached out to my coach because I wanted to commit to myself and my health for once, because I was the yo-yoer. I tried all the fad diets. I was the queen of talking myself out of doing things and quitting. And I wanted to commit to myself. So I joined a challenge just like Amber did. With my coach, except I didn't get great results. And this was all on me. I also worked in a bake shop and I used that as an excuse. I was loving the workouts. I was getting results, but I needed the extra set of accountability that coaching offered. And my coach said, you should be a coach, you should be a coach, you should be a coach. I told her no. My whole family told me not to do it. They also thought it was too good to be true. They wanted me to go to college and get like a real job. And that just never felt right for me. So it actually took a really bad day at work where I just came home crying to text my coach and say, you know what, I have no idea what this coaching thing is, because we didn't do calls like that back then. But I want in. So we got together, and this will be 4 or 5 years at the end of December, beginning of January, that I became a coach. And it took watching somebody else do this and make a lifestyle out of this, and not having a background in fitness, not having a background in business, not having a college degree, and not feeling like you had to fit this mold to be successful. She could be herself, and she could live this life by design, and a life that I never thought I could even dream of having, that I'm now living and building for my future. And it's really cool to see. So I became a coach because I wanted something more out of my life, and I knew this was the avenue if I was willing to work for it. I think the biggest thing is you have to be willing to change your mindset about working for yourself. And that was something that I had to do in my first year. I had to change my mindset from being an employee to being a CEO and being the CEO of my business. And that's super empowering for somebody who worked retail and had hours taken away and had paid vacation taken away because their boss just felt like it. Because one week you can have 40 hours, the next week you can have 20. And the cool thing about what we do is like nobody can take this away from you. And your income and your success is directly reflected to the work and hustle you put into this. So I put my heart into this. I decided that I was going to go full time with this. It took me about 4 months to decide that. But 10 months into coaching, I replaced my income that I actually quit that job, started as a barista at Starbucks, replaced my full-time income from being a barista, and became a full-time coach. It literally has changed every area of my life, and it's just continuing to grow, continuing to change, continuing to just get more awesome over the years. It's crazy that I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary, and now seeing other leaders on our team fire their boss and do this too. Like, this is what we want for you guys. I want really just to help more of you live a life by design, not a life by like just going into a job every day and feeling frustrated and feeling stuck and feeling overworked and not feeling like you're getting paid for the effort you're putting in. This can open up so many opportunities, and that's really my story in a nutshell.
Hey guys, I'm Kel. I've been coaching for about 3 years now. I've been a full-time coach for exactly a year last month. And I want to talk with you about who I was before coaching, and then also who I am now and how that's totally changed. So before coaching, I was an absolute hater. Like, I hated, I had a love-hate relationship with one of my friends that was a health and fitness coach. She helped me a lot, but I hated her because she was happy, and I was like, there's no way that's real. Like, there's no way she's really that happy. This has to be a facade. This has to be fake. And I just had that notion in my head and was a hater for so long. So I started my health and fitness journey in 2013. I was clinically obese. I was weighing in at like 212, and that was like a recorded weight for me. I'm sure I was more than that. I did not like working out. It was hurtful and it just made me feel less than. So I had a little bit of a different starting point where I was kind of at rock bottom. I started with my own thing for a couple years. And then that's when I saw Amber on Instagram. Amber's my coach. I was moving across the entire country. Okay. I was moving across the country. I wasn't going to have any girlfriends. I wasn't going to have any friends. I had no job lined up, no money. So that's when I reached out to Amber. She had this really, really great smile, and she still does. And I was just like, she seems really warm and welcoming. Like, I want to be her friend. And I don't know what the heck this wellness coaching thing is, but I think it's going to keep me accountable. And even though I had a love-hate relationship with one of my friends that was a wellness coach, I was like, this girl, I don't know. And like, I don't hate her. So like, let me ask her what this is about. So she literally laid it all out. She was like, this is what we're going to do. You're going to be in a group with me. We're going to get started with the challenge. And then you can just do coaching for the accountability. So I'm a little different. I started out just for the accountability, kind of like Amber did, but I had, just like Amber, I didn't have any expectations of quitting my job, which I was also a hairstylist, another reason why I related to her. I love doing hair. And I was like, you know, this is just for accountability. I'm never going to stop doing hair. This isn't like a real job. I could never leave my, you know, income from hair. So I started that way. And my first challenge in 21 days, I also did a 3-week challenge. I lost about 8 pounds, and I loved the community. I felt like I belonged. I had already met Amber and Kate, like, I think a month into living over here in the Pacific Northwest, and I was just immediately hooked. So before coaching, I was a hater. And then once I became a coach and started talking with everyone and actually seeing that this community that we share on social media is legit, that it's real, I was able to dive all in. And even though it took about 1.5 years for me to actually realize that this was something I wanted to do full time, I still really love the community aspect of it. So whether this is something that you want to do part time or eventually make your full time income, this is something that it can like morph over time. So now as a coach, I go on, you know, these trips with Amber and Kate. I am able to be in the best shape of my life, work on myself. I say to my friends all the time, like, yeah, I have the best job in the world. Like, I get paid to be healthy and fit, and then show people how to do that as well. It's just really, really incredible. So that's kind of where I started. And now, like I said, I've been coaching for full-time for 1 year. It's really, really kick-ass and empowering to know that this is something that I can do from anywhere. You know, I just got back from New York City yesterday. Since April, I've been to Mexico, Chicago, Indiana, Denver, Florida, and New York City. And I've been able to get paid every single week. I've been able to work anywhere I have Wi-Fi. And that is like proven right there that like this is something that just blows my mind. And I'm like, how was I riding a bike across the Brooklyn Bridge yesterday, hanging out in Central Park, and then going to a coffee shop for 2 hours? And like, how is that a work day for me? Like, it's insane. Anyway, I'm done.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, so my topic is what we do and then what we don't do. So, you know, we've talked a little bit about the challenge group thing, and if you're not familiar, so basically, you know, we are our own boss, but we work primarily with Beachbody programs. So we are compensated from Beachbody, but we are 1099. We are independent contractors. And so the cool thing about that is it's your show. It's, you know, you decide, you know, when you want to work, what you want to do, but there are some basics that we all do, you know, if you want to see success. And first of all, that is lead by example. So I was thinking about it today because I'm 18 weeks pregnant and I did not want to work out, you guys. Like, I didn't work out because I was like, I'm so amazing. I worked out because it's my job. And there are some days that I'm like, this is amazing. I'm amazing. I love working out. But as, you know, I'm tired, life happens. Like, part of my job is leading by example and showing people that they can do hard things and they can overcome. So I'm very real, you know, I'm like, there's some days that doesn't happen, but for the most part, it is a huge reason that I stay on my health and fitness journey, because I'm human. You know, we all want to fall off and like say screw it sometimes. So I was thinking about that today because it's, you know, huge. Part of our job is leading by example. So that is through Beachbody programs. So I had already done a challenge and I was like, okay, this I can't cuss, that this stuff works. So I'm going to keep it up. So what all we have to do is, we don't have to like be professionals. We don't have to be, you know, you don't have to like know every single program even. You don't have to have like a history of fitness experience. I really came from not knowing very much or any like nutrition background. So basically Beachbody has developed these amazing programs. They have professionals, nutritionists, you know, scientists and fitness professionals that make these programs, test it, see that it works, and then you know, give it to the masses, give it to us. And so this company already existed. They were, you know, you probably have seen the infomercials. I think everyone knows what P90X is. Every once in a while, like with TV, I'll see infomercials still for Beachbody. And it kind of makes me chuckle because some of it to me is kind of cheesy, but I know that the core value of the company is rad. And that part didn't speak to me. What they'd found was, I think maybe it was like 10 years ago, they were doing these, you know, P90X was like a hit and there was all these programs, people were seeing success. And back when there was like online forums, people were messaging each other on these forums to like encourage each other, just customers, you know, like not getting paid, just customers that had done the programs, but it had changed their lives, were encouraging other people on these forums. And then so Beachbody was like, okay, cool, well, we're selling infomercials, but what can we do to like encourage these people that are just like on their own accord, like supporting other people, like what? So they came out with the coaching plan, which is a compensation plan where, you know, you lead by example. And then if you help another person get started and you help someone get success, then Beachbody rewards you. And what I love about it is, you know, when I sign someone up and I say, this is what helped me, I think this can help you, then I know that they're not going to pay any more for the program. They're going to pay just what I paid. And there's a money back guarantee. And I also know that I don't actually get compensated unless they get results. Like if they return it, you know, that's fine. It didn't work out, but that rarely happens because it's what everyone knows we should do. It's working out and it's eating healthy. Okay. Like, yeah, that's real simple. But the problem is sometimes it's hard to find the time. It's hard to find your workout buddy. It's hard to know what to eat. It's hard to know like what you're supposed to do when you're told to just eat healthy and work out. Well, Beachbody makes it simple. You know, here's this workout. It's 30 minutes. You're like, it's a trainer in your room, in your living room. And then here's this meal plan and it's clean eating. So if you're vegan, paleo, vegetarian, like there's something for you, right? And so it's really laid out so anyone can do it. And they've come out with so many programs that there's something for everyone. So, you know, we lead by example. We plug people into the tools that have worked for us. So you know, if you're starting out and this is your first challenge, you can still help other people because you're documenting your journey. And that's a huge part of it as well. Showing up on social media. I'm not going to lie, like you don't have to have a social media presence yet, but it's something that you're going to have to work on. And you don't have to be outgoing. That's a misconception as well. Like you can be an introvert. I've met a ton of really successful coaches that are hella nerdy and introverted. And because you get to, you know, be who you want to be when you want to be it, you can also take that downtime to like, you know, refill your cup and like recharge yourself. I always have liked people, so that hasn't been an issue for me, but you know, social media, you can grow it, but you know, you can also just start with the people in your, everybody has a friend, a family member, someone close to them that can get healthy. So yeah, that's basically what we do. We like do the programs. We plug people into those programs by inviting them to the said programs. We run online challenge groups through Facebook. There's also an app through that Beachbody created that's really awesome that some coaches use. And we have Shakeology, which is a nutrient dense, there's vegan options, and then there's also whey options. It's a protein and micronutrient shake. That's amazing. They have a whole performance line. There's so much stuff. So yeah, that's basically what we do. And what we don't do is, you know, we don't like medically recommend anything. We don't have to like I said, you don't have to be personal trainer or nutritionist or anything like that. You know, Beachbody is basically like, they're doing all that work. We're like the middleman. Like we plug them in basically.
Is it my turn again? Okay. Yeah. Guys, we are really awkward. And I will say it's funny because working customer service, I was forced to be a people person and I got really good at it, but I'm an introvert at heart. Like when I'm around my friends, I can be super extroverted. I think the correct term is ambivert. I don't know. But like you get to be yourself with this. And that's the coolest thing about what we do is there's no right or wrong way to be a coach. You just plug into the systems that are already in place. We have what we call the 4 vitals, which is basically working on yourself, inviting other people to do this with you, and recognizing people for their hard work, which is just a really rad job description, if you ask me. So I'm excited to talk to you guys a bit about the compensation plan and how to earn an income with coaching, because there are just so many funny things. Even after doing this full time for almost 4 years now, people still assume that Dylan's the one who pays our bills. Like, so I live with my boyfriend of 5 years, Dylan, and we are cohabitating. I don't know what the correct word for that is. I don't know. But we split the bills. And it's funny because even recently a family member was like, so Dylan is the one who like pays your rent and pays your bill. And I was like, no, I have a real job. This provides me a real income, and I make more with coaching than I ever made working retail. And I will just throw this out there really quick. Beachbody does not guarantee any success or level of income. Your income and success is a direct reflection of how many people you help, your diligence and skill and work that you put into this. Just a quick income disclaimer with coaching. But it is a serious business opportunity. And what's awesome is like fitness is just the baseline. The financial aspect of coaching is really amazing and life-changing. I've seen people pay off hundreds of $1,000s in student loans and debt and become 6-figure earners and millionaires with this. Like that's the sky is the limit with this business. And it's all about how hard you're willing to work for yourself and about setting yourself apart from being an employee to being a CEO of your own business, and knowing that if you are willing to work for this, this will change every area of your life. I think the biggest reason why coaches quit and the biggest reason why people give up and say this isn't for them is because they can do it, but they choose not to. They choose not to put in the work that it takes to be a CEO, because being an entrepreneur isn't easy, but it is so worth it. Everything we're talking about, all the rewards, all the benefits, the lifestyle, the freedom it allows us is beyond worth it. And to me, to have a life where I can build it and live differently 3 to 5 years from now, like just because I work harder for myself than I will for somebody else, is just amazing to me. So let's talk a bit about the compensation plan. I will tell you, first and foremost, I am not a numbers person, but I'm a 6-figure earner in this business, which is pretty bad. You don't have to have any background because Beachbody does all of the accounting and all the stuff that a numbers person would normally do, and I don't have to do, which is awesome. Okay, so you build an income. Your first year is generally based off of commissions. So I just want to break this little awkward turtle that is out there where people say that they don't want to be a coach because they don't want to be salesy. Real talk. Everybody, no matter what your job ever is in sales. If you ask someone if they're an iPhone user or an Android user, they will sell you on if they're an iPhone user or an Android user. The difference with being a coach is when you're helping get someone started with something that you are doing that is changing your life and getting you results, and you know if they do the work, it will change their body, get them results, is you get a kickback, you get commission. So in that aspect, there is sales involved. There is commissions that you earn when you help somebody get started on their health and fitness journey, but that is not being salesy. It is not being weird or sketchy or skeevy or any of those things. It is just being compensated for your hard work. So I just want to throw that out there. You earn a 25% commission on most sales. It's like there's actually a little bit more for some packs and ways that you get people started. There is also something called team cycle bonuses. And so again, your first year, generally people most of their income is based off commissions from retail sales. However, once you start to build a team and help other people get started with their coaching journey, and the cool thing is that you get all the tools and trainings to do this. I want to throw that out there too. Like, a lot of the times people are like, I could never go live on Facebook. I could never host this call. I could never do what you do. I don't know how to run challenge groups. You get all the tools and trainings on exactly how to do that. It's just like any other job. Just like when I started at Starbucks, I was a barista. I'm like, how am I going to learn to make a skinny vanilla latte and a mocha frappuccino, which I will say this is so much more rewarding than making frappuccinos all day. But like, you learn, just like any other job, you learn how to do this. It's a skill that you learn. You get tools, you get trainings on how to do this. You will get trainings on how to build a team. So through team cycle bonuses and matching bonuses and star diamond bonuses, there's all these different ways that you can earn a full-time income or side hustle or whatever you want to do with this, with coaching. We can actually share the compensation plan in the event, and I will post that link after this call. But basically, nobody knows what they're doing when they get started, but the potential for income is here. It is a real job, and it can build you, whether it is, like I said, a side hustle, where you do this, especially in the first month. Your goal is to just earn back your investment in yourself, and Kel's going to talk about this next. And then your second month normally is when you start to make a profit, and then going forward, you continue to build that. The thing with this isn't about a quick fix. This isn't about a get rich quick thing. This is about a long-term success. This is about being in this, like, people who are successful. I've been doing this for 4.5, almost 5 years. Kel's been in this for 3 years. Amber's been in this for 4 years. Like, it didn't happen overnight. And if you haven't read The Compound Effect, that is a big aspect of building your business in this business. We'll suggest it when you become a coach, but that is how this business and this compensation plan works. It is your effort, your diligence, your skill, and helping people and paying it forward, both with their fitness journey and then helping other people get started as a coach on your team and duplicating your success that you're having as well. So again, all the tools and trainings are provided for you. It is just your job to plug people into it and do the work.
Awesome. So I'm going to talk to you about how you get started, how you get signed up. So first and foremost, you are going to reach out to whoever that lovely person was that invited you into this group, so you can get started with them as soon as possible. This is really cool because I have been a part of things, or watched my mom be a consultant for like Pampered Chef or Avon or things like that. And this is totally different because what you start with is for you. This is your gift. This is something that you are literally investing in yourself to be a better you. So, I do get emails sometimes with people saying like, oh, I have to invest in something. Like, I don't like that. And I'm like, this isn't like, I'm not going to name names, but this isn't like a legging company where you have to buy a shitload of products and keep it in your, basement or whatever to hope that someone's going to buy your stuff, right? Like, this is just you getting, your workouts, getting your meal plans, getting your portion control containers, getting your Shakeology, your Beachbody Performance, whatever you decide to start with. This is you getting all that stuff so you can get started on your own plan. And that is your investment. So with your investment, the best option for you is going to be a challenge pack because, and here are loopholes, like we're going to show you all the ways that you can save money, that you can not have to pay for your coach membership fee, to sign up. So the best way to do that is to start with the challenge pack because that $40 coach fee is going to be waived. Goodbye. Like, we don't want you to pay that. So sign up with the challenge pack. Find one that's going to work for you. Maybe you want to do a 3-day refresh. Maybe you need a kickstart and a detox. And then you'll get started into a workout program that's 4 days a week, or whatever you and your coach talk about is the challenge pack that you're going to start with. So make sure you get that $40 fee waived. And then after that, you are going to be charged $15 a month to be a coach. So here's how I think about that. So you're going to have a business fee. And what this business fee is this is like your overhead, okay? Most businesses that you have, turnkey businesses, you got to pay for the electricity. You have to pay for your employees. You have to pay for shipping when you send things out. So the $15 business fee is nothing, because Beachbody is going to take care of customer service. It's going to take care of sending out all the orders. Your customers give them their address. They send out the orders. They perfect everything for you. So that's $15 right there. And that's it. So with that, you are going to have 25% off of all your products. So let's say you do something on auto ship like Shakeology. Shakeology is normally $130 a month, which is only $4 a day. And I actually just bought yesterday in New York City an $8 green juice, $8. And I was like, I wish I had my Shakeology right now in my bag, because that's only as a coach, it's only $3 a day. And I was like, I can't believe that people spend $8 on, I think it was like celery, cucumbers, parsley, spinach, and an apple. That was all that was in there. So anyway, it's only $4 a day. It's $130 if you're not a coach. If you are a coach, it's $100. So if you have that business fee for $15, you're still saving at least $15 a month, if that makes sense. So how you're going to get started is reach out to your coach, get started with the challenge pack, whatever one you want. This is an investment in yourself. It's so much fun. There's so many, I like looking at products and I like buying stuff. I know you guys all like buying stuff. So why not make it something that is going to help you get those results that you want, help kickstart your business, and really, really give you the opportunity to be an aspiring influencer like you want to be. That's it.
And again, I just want to reiterate, so right now there are a lot of awesome sales on packs to get started. The current program that the three of us are doing, and a lot of coaches on this call and on our team are doing, is this brand new 4-week program. The promo price right now for that is $170. So normally Shakeology is $130 a month. And you get a year access to Beachbody On Demand, which is Netflix for workouts. You get access to all the workouts that Beachbody's ever come out with, all the ones that are coming out over the next year. You get the containers. You get all these things for $170. And you get your coaching fee waived. And so when you help your first 3 people get started, and we all know 3 people, you will earn back your initial investment in yourself. So that's your first goal as a coach in your first month. And the second month is when you generally start to make a profit. Of course, your income grows faster if you work harder and you continue to work at this, and the more people you help, and you get all the tools and training on exactly how to do that.
Did all 3 of us get our initial investment earned back the first month? I think
no.
I did. Amber did. Okay. But it's really simple. It really is. It's helping your closest friends. It's helping, I thought it was really simple in my first month to do that. I couldn't afford, like I'd mentioned before, I had just moved across the entire country. I didn't have a job. So the only way that I was able to do this was, and I'm not trying to give anyone financial advice, but I put it on my credit card, and then I paid it off in that first month because I had to. And that's how I had kept up on Shakeology every month after that, because I didn't have a job for 2 months, was I made sure that I found some of my friends that wanted to get started with this, and then that's how I was able to pay my Shakeology. So that's an option too.
And what I like about it too is that there's no like sales quota, or you're not penalized if you don't do anything. So, if you become a coach and, you are on your own health and fitness journey and you're ordering Shakeology and you're in the challenge group and, it's not happening for you or whatever, you had a hard month, you didn't sign anyone up. It's not like you're penalized. You're not, there's no extra fees. You're at the worst case scenario is you still got a discount on your own, supplies that helped your life. So I like that too. I felt good about that when I decided to become a coach, and when I said I'm out if it's sketchy, because I didn't want, if I was like, nervous about being charged extra or something weird. And there was really, there's only benefits can come from helping people. If you don't help anyone, then you're still growing as a person, yourself, and you're still working on your own journey, which is really, really important. When Caitlin was my coach and I just signed up, I was pretty sure, I invested in $160 challenge pack, which was one program. Now we talk about these packs, we can explain it more later to you guys, but now you get access to Beachbody On Demand, which is all of the workouts. And so when I started, I had one, and I had, and it was great. I don't regret, how I started, but I just think about how it's improved and how much more everybody gets now. Like, I'm jealous, like everyone gets access to like everything right away. But I remember thinking, okay, Caitlin must make some kind of commission off this, but whatever. And, at the end of the 3 weeks, I figured, I was like, I don't know how this really works, but, she signed me up and I'm in this challenge group. But, after those 3 weeks, and I was just so happy with how I felt and the results I was getting in the community, I realized that this was an investment that I would make 10 times because it was like working, how many times have I talk to people as a hairdresser, so many people spending, I don't want to name names of other companies, but okay, juice cleanses, I won't name a name there, but like you can do a 3-day juice cleanse for like $200 or something. And then there's these other programs where you spend like $400 and then they mail you like dehydrated food, and like I just remember like working with girls that were doing this stuff and just being like, that's weird. And so I remember thinking, okay, well, so she probably made some kind of commission and I spent $160. Okay, money well spent. Like if you break that down, so we're talking about $170 package, you break that down, Beachbody On Demand to renew it is $100 a year. That's like less than $13 a month, you guys, for a personal trainer in your living room. The prices break down to really nothing. And at $3 to $4 a day for superfood drink, like how Kel was talking about this juice. I was at the farmer's market the other day and I tasted a juice that was like $7, and yeah, kombuchas are like $4. My ex-boyfriend would just buy like, what's it called? Like tea in a can. What's that stuff called? Matcha tea every day. It's like $4, but it's just funny. Like people just are used to these habits of spending this money, and it's not bad. It's just like, if, it's just interesting that you start to realize that like this investment is actually very small for what you get. And yeah, I just wanted to add that. Cool. We have a few minutes. Does anyone have any questions? And like I said, if you have questions that come up later, you're more than welcome to. The event page will be up too. So you can always post them in the discussion on the event, or you can talk to whoever added you to this or invited you to this today.
And like I said, I'll post the compensation plan link in the event page. But really, like, the worst thing that can happen is you get the best shape of your life. You maybe help a few friends get started. The best thing is you build this future for yourself, your family. And for me, like, that is what drives me forward. It's not just, it's awesome being my own boss. It's awesome, like, making enough to afford this lifestyle that I live. But now one of my big goals is to be able to help out my parents, because my parents have no savings and they're getting old and they're going to work until they die otherwise, And so I want to be able to help them. And that is the future that I am building through this business. And if it weren't for this business, I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have that in a 9 to 5. I wouldn't have that kind of future, that kind of outlook. It's literally changed every area of my life, and I couldn't be more grateful for that.
Cool.
I guess no one has any questions. That's okay.
Maybe some of the coaches who are on here want to share how, just a quick couple things about how coaching has changed their life, or what, why they're happy they became a coach on our team. Maybe. I'll go, Mary.
Oh, I'll unmute you, Mary.
I unmuted myself. Hi, everybody. I don't know if anyone I invited is on the call, and that's okay. I just wanted to say I've appreciated being on this team. I kind of expressed this to Amber tonight. The team itself, I've been a little bit in the Beachbody world before I joined this team, and honestly, the amount of support and resources that you get from this group of ladies is insane. I feel very blessed that I get to be a part of this team that I'm on, and that I get to benefit from all of the information and all of the just support. You know, Amber, we were communicating a little bit today, and you know, I think that there's that nervousness that sometimes you feel that maybe you're not going to live up to someone else's expectations or your own expectations. I know I've been guilty of that, just like I think probably all of us have those doubts. And what I've really found that coaching has done for me is given me the tools to remove my own limiting beliefs and just keep pushing. So tonight I'm listening, I'm paying attention, but you know, I've been trying to connect with people because this right now is the time I'm sitting at a computer and I can do that. And nearly every single person I've messaged tonight personally has messaged me back something. And that for me feels like this is the direction I want to be going and this is where I want to be. And I just love that I get to be here with all of you. So yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Thanks, Mary. Yeah, and I will add, because she kind of reminded me, you know, we are our own bosses, but I really do feel like we, you know, you're not alone when you start this business. Like you do have, like Kate's technically my upline sponsor and Kel's technically, I'm her sponsor, but like, you know, we're all equals in the sense that we help each other. And if you want to push and run with this and you've got income goals, like we will try our hardest to help you get there. You know, it's obviously, the work is in your hands, you know, the hours you want to put in it, everything is up to you, but you have the support, you know, and I think with any company, any kind of business where people are working for themselves or any other multi-level marketing out there, there's people that come and go from the company. And that is going to happen with every business. You know, people have change of heart, they decide that something's not for them. But I think it's pretty freaking cool that like we can look at this team and be like, okay, well, Kate's been here 5 years, I've been here 4 years, Kel's been here 3, like we're not going anywhere. So like, I don't know, I think that speaks volumes for, and just to see that like, you know, I ran this, I've done this for part-time for 3 years, and just this last year really stepped it up, and I still see growth all, you know, every month that I've been doing this. And this is a business of longevity. It takes work, but you know, if you stick it out and you stick it with us, like a lot of, you know, like you can see change in your life.
Sorry, I want to add something too. And the cool thing is, like, you can build this a hell of a lot faster than we did. You get all the tools and trainings, which we have already mentioned, but the cool thing is you get to learn from our mistakes because we're not perfect. We fail. We have had things that we just messed up on. That's just entrepreneurship. That is being your own boss. You are going to fail. You are going to have hard days, but my hard days now are so much better. And like, you can't even compare to the hard days I had when I worked retail, when I had to show up to a job like sick and sniffling because I couldn't get a shift covered. Now, if I'm sick or if I'm like PMSing or whatever, you know, like I can work from my bed. I can work from anywhere. I have the freedom to do that. And that is such a cool thing about what we do and just what it can provide for your life.
Kel, do you want to read Debbie's comment? I think this might be your...
Yeah, I can read Debbie's comment. Also, Erica had commented something because Erica had ran her own business. So I don't know if you want to read hers and then I'll read Debbie's.
Oh, okay, sure. We're just reading the comments because if you're watching this recording, you can't read the chat. Okay, so Erica is someone that I met through social media. We're the same age, both Leos. And she commented, I'm at work, but just to add, as someone who ran their own business and manufactured their own products, it's so awesome and such a relief to not have to handle the production, shipping, website, etc., and of running a business, all while working on your health. Awesome.
Yeah. So Debbie commented that her son is having a YouTube marathon on the TV next to her, which is like another reason why you can coach, because she's hanging out with her son right now and a coach on my team on this call. So, and I know Amber has similar situations with her son, and you know, Kate and I are fur baby parents, but you know, my kids are hanging out in the living room while I'm doing this call. But so Debbie, her son is doing a little YouTube marathon, so she can't talk, but she joined because she had tried endless diets and workouts and trainings, etc., to lose weight, and nothing ever stuck or worked for her. At one point, she was even willing to throw $2,500 at a girl who claimed she could end her food addiction. Crazy, I know. One day on IG, I found Kel, and it has literally changed my life. I have had friends that were Beachbody coaches and couldn't relate to them. Sorry, someone else chatted, so it messed me up here. I had friends that were Beachbody coaches and couldn't relate to them, but I could relate to Kel and saw how happy and successful she was and how she started where I was starting, and that really inspired me. I have no regrets starting my business and can't wait to see where I take it. I love that. Oh yeah, unmute. Go ahead, girl.
Hi, I'm Ian. So my partner Era here, she's the one who kind of got me into this whole thing. I've sort of been the one that was more into fitness before her, but I have to say, after our 80-day obsession, it's a complete change. But so I guess the question that I have going into becoming, you know, more of an active coach. So let's say that you I don't know if you have any input, any suggestions for let's say you have already exhausted your friend list. You know, your friends are not interested, or your family is just, you know, they're either too old, or they're you know, they've got their own thing going. It's just not exactly where they want to be at the time. What kind of suggestions do you have for that scenario, I suppose?
Do we all answer this? What do you guys think?
Whoever.
I mean, I feel like we can all, I wonder I guess we can all answer it, and I don't know if it'll be similar. But so I say this all the time, but in this business, like, consistency is really, really important. So when I started, I had a following of like 300 people. They were just my friends and family. You know, if I had made a list of all the reasons why people should not join me, like, it would have been very long, you know, like, who am I to talk about health and fitness? Like, where did I come from? Is this just like another phase, whatever? But I got a lot of no's. You know, I had a lot of people in my life that were like supporting me surfacely, but then behind me talking about my back, or talking behind my back, not really supporting me, still doing other things right in front of me, like blatantly not joining me. These are some of the people I worked with and stuff. And I just it really motivated me to just find more people, like find my people out there. So I just worked on my social media slowly but surely, just sharing fearlessly, and just kept going. And there was some rejection along the way, but what happened was, as my results started, you know, continued, and I just started meeting more people, my following started growing, and I started just connecting with new people. And then also, just interestingly, like, people started just kind of coming out of the woodwork. And I think it was that consistency, you know, like, I just kept showing up. So then it would be like, my cousin would be like, even though she's always turned me down to be a coach, and I wish she would just be like, hey, my roommate, I think, wants to do this. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, I don't even know her. Sure, send her my way. You know, so it was like, that kind of started to happen. And I had to really just put my head down and keep showing up, even when I thought no one was watching or no one cared. And so that's, for me, how I was able to, you know, and then still, even, you know, almost 4 years in, I signed up a girl that I've known since I was 16. She finally signed up just the other day. So, like, this is someone that I've been talking to that's been watching me for years. I'm not saying you have to do this for 4 years before your friends join you, but I think that consistency for me has been huge, like, in bringing me new people, even when I just feel like, where are they going to come from? They present themselves. And sometimes they're not the people that are liking and commenting. They're like the people that are just watching, and they're like, hey, I've been watching, I finally want to do this. So that's personally how I've been able to kind of like broaden.
So mine is similar. My answer is similar. And I just want to say too, you get tools and training on how to grow your social media when you join our team. Because when I started coaching, I used my Facebook to share poems about my ex-boyfriends and, song lyrics. And I worked at a bakery, so I shared pictures of cupcakes all the time. I had no idea what it took to run a business on social media, how to grow my social media, how, to network, but you get all the tools and trainings on how to do exactly that. And when I started coaching, I was so caught up in myself. And one of the biggest things that you will learn is to get over your limiting beliefs. But I was so like, nobody will want to do this with me. I thought about all the people who I went to high school with, and they were like, they wouldn't look at me and think health and fitness, because that was never my life. I was the girl who quit everything. I was not athletic. I was not fit. And so I figured out how to grow my social media and how to connect with people on there, because I was like, nobody in my life wants to do this. My whole family was very skeptical. They all told me I would end up quitting, that I needed to get a safe job. Dylan, my boyfriend, is the only one who supported me, and he was the actual one who I borrowed money from to start my business when I started 5 years ago. So I had a similar situation, and it's just deciding to kind of unstick yourself and move forward and grow your social media, and also know that those people come around, and you talk to people every day, people at work. And again, like being proof the product works and leading by example, those people all come around.
My answer is very similar, but I will shed some light on the odd animosity that will come from people that know you. And it's not anything to be taken, I think, in a negative way. This is something that I've learned, but it is definitely, in any business, someone is so willing to run out and drop like $100 on Fenty Beauty, right? Because they love Rihanna. But they're not 100% willing to support their friend in their own business. And I think that's just how it is, because, and that's not to say that they're not going to come around, but when you personally know someone, you feel more accountable to do it. So I have realized over the years of being a coach that a lot of my really, really close friends were strangers on the internet. And now we just clicked and we're really good friends, and they're great clients. And they maybe don't feel as accountable at first, which is why they're willing to invest in this and start. And then, after your family and friends see that you've been doing this for a couple of years or so and that you haven't given up on it, they're like, okay, this is for real. And that, it actually is just in this past year that my parents started saying how proud they were of me and stuff. And, the first couple of years, I think they were like, oh, is this like Avon or Pampered Chef? Like, what is this? So I think that's where most of, your clients are going to come from, is probably just social media. And I also had a very, very small following, and the consistency just builds over time, and people will trust you. And it's not that they're looking for you to fail, but they're waiting to see you succeed, because they want to know for sure if this is something that's going to work for them as well.
Yeah, people are just skeptical. They want to see you fail. I don't know what, I don't want to say everyone, but sometimes the people you think would really support you. My brother's super into health and fitness. I love him to death, but he'll do a workout with me, but he's yet to support me, that's okay. So I've just kind of found other people. Cool. That's a good question.
Does anybody else have any other questions? And I also want to say something really quick on that whole thing, because I think a lot of the times what holds people back in this business is they're worried about what other people are going to think if they become a coach, if they start sharing their health and fitness journey. They don't want to become one of those people who spam people or come off salesy again. Well, real talk, other people's opinions don't pay your bills, and it's your life and it's your destiny and the future that you're building for yourself. And you have to take control of that and know that if they are really your people, they will support you. They will come around. And you just have to remember that you're doing this for you. You're doing this for your family, but first and foremost, you get to work on yourself every day. It is your job to work on yourself, to become a better person, to become a leader in your community, and you get to pay that forward and help other people change their life. Like, that is the most fulfilling thing of what we do, and it just rewards you in spades. There are so many different benefits to becoming a coach, but first and foremost, you get to change your life. Again, financially is like the sky's the limit, but also like internally, with your health and fitness, and also your mindset, and like your entire life will change if you're willing to do the work for it.
And we can find our genuine voice in how we do that too, which is nice. So if it feels icky, don't do it. And, but I think you learn how to put yourself out there more. I definitely have. And that's just part of like learning a job, growing and learning. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much. I will I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and I'll share it in the event so you guys can all share this with friends and stuff.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your evening to learn about this opportunity. Again, just don't overthink it. Don't get in your head about it. If this feels right, decide to do this. Decide to be here a year from now and see what you can do with this and see how it can change your life.
Cool. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.